state because it was about the police department.
Treacherous.
Yeah, I don't know who can say.
Really?
We're supposed to be asked.
That's scary. It is. Down.
Oh,
The snowball's no joke.
yeah.
Really is.
Technically, this applies to the police department. It applies to the whole city.
Yeah, why didn't you take the turnpike?
Well, what I'm
Really?
worried is I need to start asking because they're not going to.
They seem to take care of the turnpike pretty well.
Staples. I should have been here.
Yes, she's not coming, or yes, she's not.
That's what, yeah, right now.
Right.
We're live?
I got you.
All right. I'd like to call the Ravenna City Council meeting for December 1st to order. First item on the agenda is a moment of meditation and silence. Will you please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Gregor, could you call the roll?
Mr. Kelfi,
Here.
Ms. West, Mr. Moskin,
Yes.
Ms. Wood,
Here.
Mr. Maravich,
Here.
Ms. Michael,
Here.
Mr. Harper.
I'm not sure about Mr. Harper. I have not heard from him, but I know that Ms. West can't make it tonight. Can we get a motion to excuse her and hope that Matt comes soon?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, moving on. The next item on the agenda is delegations from the public. Is there anyone present tonight that would like to speak to council?
Somebody out.
I see a couple of people out in the hallway. Well, I'll give them a couple of minutes to sign in. We have a new fire chief.
Hopefully put out a bunch of fires.
Okay, I'll ask again, does anybody in the public wish to present anything to council tonight? If not, we'll move on in the agenda. Okay, hearing none. The next item is the approval of the agenda. I don't have any changes. Does anybody else have any changes to the agenda tonight? If not, could we get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then the next item is the consent agenda. There's various items, communications, minutes, reports of officials, and then some other various ordinances that council decided to put into the consent agenda. Does anybody wish to take anything out of the consent agenda? Okay, if not, could we get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Let's do a roll call for that.
Mr. Kelfi,
Yes.
Ms. Michael,
Yes.
Mr. Moskin,
Yes.
Ms. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Maravich.
Yes.
Okay, the consent agenda is approved. The next item is invited city officials. Tonight, we have the pleasure of hearing from our relatively new police chief, Mr. Jake Smallfield. If you could come up, or you can sit there if you want, I guess, whichever your pleasure is.
Address you properly.
Okay, that sounds good to me. The mic's on there. Proceed as you will.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to speak with you guys. I want to begin by addressing the elephant in the room, kind of with our department, where we're going, where we're heading, and we can't really address our department without talking about the officers involved shooting and the drastic impact it's had on our departments. You know, this is not just an isolated event. It touched every member of our department and our entire community. An incident like this has the potential to tear a department apart. It affects morale, cohesion, and trust, both among officers and between the department and the community that we serve. Every day, our officers come to work knowing they may be called upon to use deadly force to protect innocent people. That is a heavy and daily responsibility. And when an officer is involved in a critical incident, it does not happen only to that sole officer, it happens to all of us. Every person in this department reflects on that moment. Some of our officers are forced to confront a profound and deeply personal question: can I do this again? after taking another person's life, can I return to this work? Can I do this job? That is the depth and the emotional, moral toll that these incidents carry. 6 months later, a second incident occurred. On March 16th, lightning struck this department again. Many departments struggle to get through one officer-involved shooting. Ours has endured 2 in 6 months. And yet, through that adversity, our department grew closer, tighter, and more supportive of one another. We've had the leadership transition in our department. We've experienced unexpected retirement of Chief Wallace, and I want to publicly thank him for his service. He was exactly the leader this department needed during those difficult times. He moved us in a positive direction from the moment he took the reins. After his departure, we entered a period of uncertainty that lasted nearly 6 months. Several key pieces had to fall into place with a very specific order. You had to host a chief's assessment. At the time, we did not have any captains because I was acting chief. We could not give a captain's test before we gave a chief's test. We didn't know who was going to do that. Sergeant's process resulted in the promotion of Sergeant Joshua Erb. We then completed the captain's assessment after I was appointed chief, the written assessment, and ultimately promoted Captain Dustin Swab. With that, our department started to move forward. We started our community engagements. Despite the challenges, we strengthened our connection with our community. We participated in a trunk or treat at NeoMed. I don't know if anybody saw the Facebook post on that. We had it anywhere from 15 to 18 people from our department, and this is what we're talking about when I strengthened our department and brought us closer together, that all dressed up in Toy Story. I was Buzz Lightyear. We had one of our new dispatchers who we just hired. She came, she talked to her boyfriend to come in. She came as a little Bo Peep, and he came as a sheep. That's a difficult task to come to people you don't know and you're dressed up as a sheep. So I want to thank them for that. That was awesome. We ran a massively successful food drive for the Center of Hope. Ms. Joyce told us this was the largest food donation they've ever received. This was when we held at Walmart. On top of filling all her shelves, which they were overflowing by the time we got done giving her all the food, we received $2,000 in monetary donations from people who did not want to do the shopping. We have restarted our Shop with a Cop program. Many may not know that. So all of council is invited. December 13th, we have the breakfast with the Santa and Mrs. Claus at the Elks program, at the Elks. And then afterwards, we're going to Walmart, where we're having Shop with a Cop. Since our announcement of the Shop with a Cop returning, we have raised over $15,800 for the program. We thought we were going to have this funded out of just our association, but Jolene Cillian and Terry Haddad have devoted tremendous effort in organizing this program. And in a short period of time, we've had nearly $16,000 donated for the program, which I think is very special. Department, our improvements in our department. We have a new drone vehicle. Thank you for letting us purchase the new drone vehicle. This is the only one of its kind in the county right now. We've already had people want to borrow it. The SWAT team wants to use it. We've had new drones. We've hired new drones. We have the elite drone team in the county. We have, I think I've talked about it last time, we have handheld drones that are designed to fly inside. These drones can sit on a person's leg. Our SWAT guy has it on his vest. They can be launched from one-handed launch, so they can be out. We use those in the school shooting with a football game. You know, and I think that's what I explained last time when these officers make these decisions. We had 6 officers that night, and every one of them ran towards the direction of gunfire. So they've made those decisions. They can do this job, and they can do it again. The drone was in the air within 3 minutes. I think it was 2 minutes and 35 seconds. That's why we have these drones. That's why we carry with them at all times. We have a new evidence processing center in our basement. We took over the old Safe Communities room. It had just boxes and some workout gear that we're not using. We were currently using leaf flags that we commandeered from the street department to store evidence because we just didn't have anywhere to put anything else. So once we removed all the weight gear, we had a guy come in and build us shelves. We have plastic totes, which are being labeled. This is in a process of trying to help us better manage our evidence procedures and hopefully try to get rid of some of the evidence so we're not tying up 4, 5, 6 rooms just with trash. We have new ammunition storage at the motor pool. Same guy who built our shelves for our evidence room. Now we have shelves in our motor pool that store our ammo and all our airsoft guns It's down there with our Milo system, but it's in a secure room with glass block windows. Up until that point, everything we had was on the floor. We had a flood. We had to throw away a lot of ammo. So it wasn't real beneficial for us, but we were able to build those steps, those shelves, make it a better room. It's more feasible. We can actually hold more stuff. We have room now. We didn't have it before. Now that we organize stuff. All our patrol vehicles are standardized with uniform equipment layouts. During the transition from Ford to Chargers back to Ford, you didn't know what kind of car you're getting into. You didn't know what the setup was going to be like, whether you're going to have a laptop, a touch screen. In the last few years, we've been allowed to buy all new cars. So we've cycled in the cars and started to cycle out cars. And this is the first time, probably within 10 years, we've been universal with all our cars. So it doesn't matter what you get in, everything's in the same spot. Everything's new. It's fantastic, and it really weighs on guys when you come in, you don't know where anything is in your car, and it's new because when you get into a high-set situation, you kind of do it off memory, and it's not in the same spot. It's difficult. Chief Wallace instituted a new firearms. We bought all new firearms this year, which it's a fantastic system. It's the Shadow system. Our old guns, which were 15 years old, which were very nice guns. With our trade-in program, we were able to purchase tactical flashlights and red dot optics for all of our guns. So that increases our proficiency. And with our Milo system, we were able to speed up our proficiency with transitioning new guns. So we had the new guns before we had the Milo system before we had our new guns. So we were up there on shift training, off shift training, it's a line, I don't know how much to explain it, but the line of sight is different. Instead of front sight, back sight, it's find a dot in a gun. And while transitioning to a new gun, the angle of the grip is different, so you have to hold it different. So it's a long transition to get that muscle memory changed. So we were able to use the Milo system to do that, turn it to a competition. We're shooting little darts, having fun with the guys, but it really helped them learn a new system. Our Milo system is the next one. I think that we got that year before, but that's still a fantastic system. Other departments like to use it with us. We recently had a problem with a couple of O-rings going bad. We got those replaced. They talked to us about what the problem was. So we fixed those. It's up and running. We just had a meeting. We're going to plan on using those next year, at least once a month. Every officer will get an hour on that a month.
Chief, could you refresh our memory on what that system is?
Oh, certainly, absolutely. The Milo system is automated firearms. So what that does is you can have two officers going because we only have two. We have a room down in our motor pool where a big projection comes onto the back wall, and you can either do firearms training where you're shooting at targets. You can do night simulation targets where you turn the lights down and you have a fake flashlight, and the flashlight will actually light up on the wall and follow you around. You can interact with people. We have shoot, no shoot scenarios where the sergeant will sit in the back, and depending on what the officer says and how they react to the stimulus on the wall, he has probably 15 or 20 per episode of where he can go from there. Depending on what the officer says, he can choose what that person does. So we practice a lot of no shoots, because what you run into is a problem is if you work on just shoots, people get they get conditioned to do that. So we don't want that. We do a lot of no shoots. We do a lot of interventions where we need to stop other officers. Those are important for us. Did I explain everything? Okay, good. So I guess the last thing I want to touch is the milestone in our department's history. With tonight's consent agreement, we have added 4 new officers to our department. This department has not expanded since I was hired, so that's 25 years ago. In fact, the last time growth happened in this department was when Bill Clinton was president. We hired a lot of guys off, like I was one of them, we got hired off the COPS grant. So 25 years it took us to add officers to our department, and that's a phenomenal milestone for this department. It's huge. That represents a 60% increase of our department, just adding 4 guys. And I know the school wants it. I think the superintendent has watched the news or Facebook and has already called me and said, when's our new guy coming in? So, well, sorry, Mr. Riveline, I gotta fill the road first, but it's coming. My first priority is getting one of the officers in the schools because I know we need it. So I just want to, I guess in conclusion, I want to thank you guys for, voting in and allowing us to expand like that and giving the citizens the service that they need and we need to provide for them. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Do people have questions for Chief Smallfield?
Chief, our flock system has been in effect for about a year now.
Yes, sir.
And how is that going? What's the results of it? Do you think it's worth the expenditure? How are you evaluating that program?
It's going fantastically. In fact, we are the beacon that other departments are looking to right now. Kent wants it, and they're having difficulty getting it through. Streetsboro wants it, and we are sending all our data to them every chance we get, because when they get flock, it just strengthens our flock. At last, we knew, I think I handed them about 100 cases that we've solved with flock. And that could anything from, I think there was a hit skip that the State Patrol had, we got their car coming through town, to as simple as somebody reporting their car stolen, and our officers jumped on the computer in their cars and saw it going down the road on the back of a flatbed. It had been repoed, she forgot, or he or she forgot she didn't make payments, but the man hours that saves, just jumping on, checking a flock, look at it, it solved our shooting for the school, so it's a tremendous asset, and in fact, I would love to expand it.
Wow. I'll make a comment. I mean, I don't always traffic in social media, but I've had the opportunity, people on council forward things to me. And I've seen video of your policemen in action. And all I can say is I don't know how they can be so patient and so professional when they're dealing with a public that isn't always, the same way. And I commend your leadership and their ability to do their job in such a professional way. It amazes me, to be honest with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Our officers are very empathetic of the people they deal with and what they're going through.
And you guys do go to the CIT training. They always send someone to that.
We are one of the few, our entire department is CIT, to include every dispatcher.
And that is huge when there are departments that don't take that opportunity to send. I know the Mental Health Board saw the video that was circulating on social media, and they were very impressed on our police officer on how they handled the one viral video going around, the calmness, how, like Rob said, how professional that our police officer handled that situation. So they were going to use that video for further training to show, I think in maybe one of their classes. But yeah, I was very proud on how he handled everything, because that was a dangerous situation.
It's fantastic.
And it could have escalated in a completely different way.
I love it when our officers do so well. They use our scenarios in training.
Yep. Thank you.
To me, it was quite interesting to actually see how that flock system works. And it gave me a much better understanding to actually see how it works over and above. Being explained is really good, but seeing how it works is another step above that. And I'm just thankful to have the opportunity to see a multitude of different things that all of you do.
Anytime anybody's available, we'll show you how to use flock. We'll show you how to do the Milo system. We'll take you on ride-arounds.
Well, I will leave you with this notion that I say to all the city officials, if there's ever anything city council can do to improve your department, I think you've already taken advantage of that. I think tonight's a good example of that, but don't hesitate if there's something council can help you with to bring it forward.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Chief. Okay, we're going to move on. The next item in the agenda is report of committees. Committee meetings will be held a week from tonight on December 8th at 6 p.m. The first report is from Utilities. Mr. Moskin.
There will be one item on the agenda at this point for next week.
Okay. Information Systems, Mr. Maravich.
To be determined.
Be determined. Ms. West isn't here tonight, so I I believe there will be a planning committee meeting, but we'll have to talk to her about it in the meantime. The committee of the whole meeting will be Monday, December 22nd at 6 o'clock. The next committee is Public Health and Safety. Ms. Michael?
To be determined.
Streets and Sidewalk, Mr. Harper still has not arrived, so we won't have a report for that committee. Personnel, Dr. Calfee.
I have a question about how we're handling the payroll ordinance, and if we'll need to address that in committee or not. I'm not sure the procedure that we're following this year on the payroll ordinance adoption.
We did discuss it in committee, and we didn't? No, you brought it to committee of the whole, and you weren't
Right,
here
we-
at the
Okay.
committee of the
And you
whole.
weren't
Okay.
here.
So there's no additional work needs to be done on it?
I mean, I don't
Well,
think there needs
it's
to
on the
be.
agenda. We didn't put it in the consent agenda, so we'll have time to talk about it.
Okay. Absent that, no committee meeting coming up.
Community and Economic Development, Ms. Wood?
I anticipate there being at least one item on the agenda.
For next Monday? Thank you. Cemetery Board, Mr. Moskin,
Well,
do you have
thankfully-
anything to report?
Yeah, the leaf pickup there is going very good. It's, the majority of it is finished. And the good part is, most of the time it's been dry, so it's made a big difference. And we, just this past week, just had an agreement for their insurance for the next year.
Is that health insurance for the employees?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Changed companies, and it saved a little over 20,000 for this, for the 26 year.
Nice. Good job. Thank you. Mr. Maravich, do you have a report from Parks and Recreation?
Yep, just a couple updates. They're moving forward with the 9-hole disc golf course over at the Chestnut Hill property. Disc golf baskets have been ordered, and we're planning on getting them installed in the spring. In terms of programs, the yearly recreational planning committee went well, and they're excited to introduce some new programs for next year additionally. Youth basketball is still running, and we're still taking registrations for the Little Dribblers program. And let's see, we started work on the Marlene Watt Poker Run Walk. Flyers are going to be going around town, seen a couple drafts, they're pretty nice. Update for grant stuff here. The Emerald Lake Land Preservation Phase 2 was denied, so we're moving forward with another grant, hopefully through LWCF. So hopefully if we're successful, we'll be able to purchase the eastern parcel. So,
Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is first reading of ordinances. First ordinance is ordinance number 2025-127.
An ordinance accepting and adopting the City of Ravenna Comprehensive Plan and declaring an emergency.
This is sponsored by a planning committee, and I'm one of the proponents, along with Ms. Wood, who was also on the committee that helped draft this comprehensive plan. Has it been put on the web? I didn't see it on the website yet. I know we have the video, but can we get the comprehensive plan itself up on the website? I thought we talked about that, committee of the whole. This is only on first reading. We're going to let this stay, hopefully. I hope nobody votes to suspend the 3 readings. So we have time to talk about it. If you've all had copies, I don't know if anyone tonight has any questions or concerns about the comprehensive plan. I'm planning at this point to hold a public hearing for the public to weigh in January. And then February, I guess, would be, if the timing is correct, would be when council can make a final vote. Did anybody have any questions about the comprehensive plan, concerns about it? Okay, hearing none, then I'll ask that we just move on to the next item on the agenda, and hopefully we can get the plan up on the website in the meantime. The next item is ordinance number 2025-128.
An ordinance adopting the city's cybersecurity plan as required by Ohio House Bill 96 by December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
This is sponsored by Information Systems. Mr. Maravich?
Yes, kind of as it is, we have we need to update our stuff to comply with Ohio's new code that's coming out. I do believe we have our, there he is. Sorry, usually you sit in the exact same spot every time. Anyway, our IT director's here, can speak to this as well. Was there, there's a follow-up you had for this one, Rob?
Well, I think the plan is, because of the nature of this particular ordinance, and the need for it to be secure, and that it's not a public document, the plan was to go into an executive session. I'll ask council if we want to do that now, or as a convenience to our members of the public who showed up tonight, we could defer the executive session and a vote on this ordinance to the end of the agenda. Probably should have adjusted the agenda when we approved it. That's my fault. What is the pleasure of council?
I would say do it at the end. Yes, with,
Let's make if someone can make a motion to place this ordinance at the end of tonight's agenda, that would be, make it official.
I make a motion that we move ordinance number 2025-128 to the end of the meeting today.
Second.
yes,
All in favor?
yes.
Aye.
Okay, we will talk, we'll bring this back. We'll give you a chance, Mr. Bender, to let us know what's going to happen with that policy at the end of the meeting tonight. Okay, the next ordinance is ordinance number 2025-129.
An ordinance fixing the number of employees of the City of Ravenna, establishing a classification plan, a salary schedule beginning January 1st, 2026, in accordance with Exhibit A attached hereto, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, this was brought forth by our finance director at the committee of the whole meeting. You want to explain why we're doing this?
Yeah, I mean, basically, there's no changes because we're still in negotiations. We don't expect to have anything solved by the end of this year. This is the 2026 payroll ordinance that will go into effect on 1/1/2026. Apart from a couple minor typos that were in the payroll ordinance, there's no changes.
Wow.
It just needs to be, there was, and you have another sheet, there was the fire
For police.
department.
The four, well, yeah, that was a,
So two changes. The fire department was the numbers were wrong on the fire department list, so we corrected that, and you should have another sheet. And then, of course, the PD tonight passed for their foreign new, and I did update for that. So there are a couple changes that need to be in effect for the 2026 payroll ordinance.
and so, Dr. Calfee, what's happened is, I question this too, whether we could just keep our current payroll ordinance in place, because we're going to have to pass yet another payroll ordinance after the negotiations with the unions, and we update pay raises and stuff like that. But it was the decision of council that we reaffirm this one, just as, I guess, a technicality. I don't know what else to call it.
They really are labeled for each year. I mean, I know it doesn't specifically say that on
Yeah.
the body of it, but that's.
It does have the year, but it doesn't have an expiration date, but,
Yeah, and I do believe that 3 years ago, when we were in negotiations, that was the procedure we also followed, that we passed it and then passed another one
We did.
when the revisions came through.
all right, so any other questions or concerns about this ordinance? Do we have a motion to suspend the 3 separate readings?
So move.
Second,
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
yes.
Mr. Calfee?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
And do we have a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So move.
Second,
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
yes.
Mr. Calfee?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Okay, that ordinance is approved. Did I go out of order, by the way?
Did we
did, I missed one.
Did we just do 90 and immediate?
We just did the payroll ordinance. Did you read the payroll ordinance?
I did, but you only did
We only did 2 votes. We didn't do the third
Okay,
passage
I wasn't
vote.
sure whether we met, all right, well, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Yes,
Mr. Calfee?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
No, I think that's in the,
129.
Oh, that,
that should
was
be
that
in
in,
the,
that was in the consent agenda?
Yeah, it
Okay,
should be.
never mind, sorry. Let me get back on track here. Okay, the next ordinance
Second.
is, I'm sorry, we are now on to second reading of ordinances. So the only item here is a resolution number 2025-112.
A resolution declaring the necessity for an additional 0.25 of 1% income tax to provide funds for the purpose of planning and building a new fire station, police station, and city hall in the city of Ravenna, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Okay. This one was sponsored by planning. Obviously, Ms. West isn't here. This is on second reading, and again, the plan, similar to the comprehensive plan, is to keep this on for 3 readings. Does anybody have any questions about this as we're going through this process? I'll announce later on about my plan, what I would like council's plan for a public hearing to be in my remarks later on tonight. If there's no other questions or concerns, then we'll move on to third reading of ordinances. The only ordinance here is ordinance number 2025-94.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Archer Energy LLC for the City of Ravenna Natural Gas Aggregation Program for the period of June 2025 through March 2027 and declaring an emergency.
Sponsored by Utilities, Mr. Moskin?
I know last time we talked about this, we let it ride. Now it's up to, I believe, $5.
$4.99.
4.99.
Okay, I was off by a penny.
Hey, adds up.
Not this day and age anymore. I remember you could do something with it, but
So, yeah, so this is on third reading. We've kind of put this off. It actually went down, didn't it? Is my mistake here? But
Yes.
I suppose if we hold out any longer, it might still go down. By the way, along with your packet, the clerk sent out a projection of what the anticipated rates at this moment, and who, I mean, that's kind of a guess, between now and the end of what would be the term of this contract, or is the term of this contract. And I think it goes, it should not go without notice that except for January of 2027, where it reaches $4.97, it's always lower than, I guess that's a trade-off though, right? You're banking, I mean, you're locking in at a certain rate, and you don't have to worry about if it ever goes higher. But if the projections are constantly lower, I mean, that kind of suggests to me that maybe locking in at this rate is a little bit premature. I don't know what other council members think about this.
I'm not in favor of locking into a rate when obviously the current rates are less.
I agree.
yeah, yes.
Is anybody in favor of approving this ordinance at this
No.
moment in time? Okay, then we are on third reading. I don't know that there's any reason we can't leave it here if we want to. Or if anybody wants to vote to just dispense of this, or take a vote on it, you know, like we normally would, and then just vote it down. I don't know what, if we do that, then we'd have to go through the entire process, through the committee process, to bring it back to council for a vote anytime in the future if we ever did want to lock in.
Well, I think this is in a good case at this point, and I'd like to make a motion to table this indefinitely.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Let's have a roll call.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Kelfy?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Okay, we have tabled this with no definite return. If anybody wants to bring this back to the table, please bring it to Mr. Moskin to place on his agenda. All right, the next item on our agenda tonight is old business. Does anybody have any old business to present? Hearing none, do we have any new business? Okay. Then we'll move on. The next item is President of Council remarks. I just have two. I alluded to one earlier tonight. I'd like to schedule a public hearing for December 22nd to allow the public to weigh in on our ordinance on the safety buildings in City Hall and the 0.25% income increase. So if we can get that announced as soon as possible, I would like to hold it directly after the committee of the whole meetings. Our committee of the whole meetings tend to be pretty quick, plus by ordinance, we have to start at 6 o'clock. So hopefully, we can schedule this, let's say 6:30, or following the committee of the whole meeting. Anybody, is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Okay, and then the only other item of business that I think we need to take care of, and I'm going to put this on the committee of the whole meeting agenda, is we found out we need to have a board of tax review. I guess when people appeal what their income tax is, if there's some assessment that has to take place of their income tax, maybe they haven't paid it in a while, they can appeal to this board that currently does not have any members. And according to ordinance and state law, it's a three-member board, and council appoints 2 members. So be thinking about people you might want to suggest. They can't be elected officials, and they can't be a member of the finance department.
Right.
I think otherwise they can be actually, they can't be an employee
Can't be
from
an employee.
the council, but I think the mayor can appoint somebody who's an employee as long as they're not in the finance
To
department.
read it again, but yeah.
I think that's
you're right.
works. So, yeah, if you could put your, thinking caps on and think about a couple of people we might want to appoint, we'll discuss this further in the committee of the whole meeting on December 22nd. Okay, that concludes my remarks. We'll start with Mr. Maravich. Do you have any remarks for us tonight?
Not this evening.
And Michael?
I just want to say how beautiful our downtown looks. The Christmas parade really, if any of you were able to attend it, it looked like a Hallmark movie. It was beautiful. The snow, the downtown scenery, it really looked like it could be a Hallmark movie setting. So I was quite impressed and proud to be there. So thank you to everyone who worked hard to make that happen. It was very, very well done.
Thank you. Ms. Wood?
The only thing I want to let everybody know is that the students that got the opportunity to visit and from the Chamber's Youth Leadership Program that works with the high school and the Principals Advisory Council of Students visited City Hall and the police department and the fire department for a tour and lunch. Mr. Content, Chelsea, both the fire chief and the police chief took their time and spoke to the students and had lunch, and it was really, really well received. And it was amazing how the students were very eager talking about it after they left, and I got several comments back. They really enjoyed the day that they got to spend with us, so thank all of you very much. And we were really able to push the fact of how many Ravenna graduates work in each department throughout the city, and how it was just something great to show them. So thank you all for participating.
Thank you. Dr. Calfee?
A couple items. First, many of you do know that this is Ms. Wood's last regular meeting, and I wanted to thank her profusely for her service the last 6 years. Mrs. Wood is a real Ravenna supporter and has worked hardest to do what's best for Ravenna. Her knowledge of grants and housing and things related to grants and housing has been wonderful, and that expertise has helped us, and just really want to thank you for your service to Ravenna.
Thank you very much, and I will be back around.
And let's not forget, she was the awarded Citizen of the Year from Foundation,
Yes.
the Portage Foundation, I believe?
Chamber.
Chamber, I'm sorry. Got my awards mixed up.
It's been a very rewarding experience, and I've enjoyed being a part of everything, and I look forward to circling through the waters again in the future.
Enough.
Couple other things, echoing your remarks about downtown, there's a couple utility boxes in town that have been wrapped in plastic, or one's related to butterflies and another one is related to anniversary. We have noticed, Mr. Content, they look great, both of them. Yeah, really, really nice. And one other thing about downtown, a few months ago, you remember Wells Fargo Bank came to us and they had a house that they had repossessed and tore it down. That new house has been built and is completed. And so it's a brand-new house over there just off Highland and Prospect. And it's for sale, and it's great. That's a wonderful addition to the downtown area. That's all I had.
Thank you, Dr. Calfee. Mr. Moskin.
I have nothing for tonight.
Okay, Mayor, do you have some remarks for us tonight?
Just a couple of things. We finally chased down the Charleston application. Apparently their fire department chief is supposed to drop it off here. This is for dispatch. So we should have that. We'll probably have to approve that before the end of this year. With that, I'd also like to thank all of our staff members who worked on getting the downtown looking the way it is. They've done a wonderful job. They do it without complaining, and I think they enjoy it. And I was very happy with that. I think that's all I want to talk about tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Seaman. All right, then, we'll return to ordinance number 2025-128. If we could have a motion to go into executive session. And by the way, for the public, we will be addressing this ordinance when we come out of executive session.
I'd make the motion if I could have the wording from the list of 7 things that we have to go into executive session.
Oh, boy, that's a good question. I'm not even sure what this qualifies as.
Run and grab my
Security.
Yeah, I don't know what it,
You have it, there are 2 of them, 2 options.
I'm only asking because to make the motion legal, one of those needs to be cited.
okay. Well, I thought I had it, but I don't. I might have to go grab it unless I can dig it up from my computer. Okay. Security matters. Let's see which one applies. I think number 5. I'll just read what number 5 says, and then you can make the motion. A public body may adjourn into executive session to discuss matters that federal law or regulations or state statutes require the public body to keep confidential.
I make a motion that we go into executive session for the reason listed and read by President Karas.
Roll call.
Mr. Calfee?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Okay, we go into an executive session.